On this week's episode, we have a little bit for everyone.
Does this mean we might talk about sex?
Okay, well, that would be for Scott. And yes, so we should warn everybody. But we could do even more.
More? If we're making me happy with sex. Oh, I get it. Then we're going to talk about politics.
And that would make me happy. So, we got to warn everybody about that too, then, don't we?
Yeah,
But we can still do more.
Okay, what's left? Oh, do we have a guest?
Yes. So strap in.
Wait a minute. You want me to use a strap on? Hey, you know something? I'm getting so excited. This is going to be triple X.
Welcome to the Don't Know Show, featuring what happened to the world today. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott. And this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show, podcast, and live Twitch stream with
a guest. Yay! And we're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on with the world today. And we're going to bring in Anthony from Las Vegas to help us talk about what's going on in the world today.
Steve does not need help talking. However, this might be a change of pace.
Right. This would be great. But we also have to remind people to, if you're in there, go out and, get out and check the like button. Apparently that helps you on your searches and all that stuff when you're on YouTube and Twitch. If you like it and you share it and you click on the follow and you click on the notification, that actually raises you so more people can see the show.
That is correct.
So
please do it. Please.
If you did that.
Steve will come over to your house and give you a big wet sloppy kiss.
But
he's been doing that to people anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's nothing special. But Anthony has been a friend of mine for 5. See, COVID years makes it hard for me to remember. Is it 5 years we've known each other?
I don't know. My girlfriend, she tells me we've been together this long. I'm like, all right, I don't know.
Probably the whole 2 years.
No, you say
yes,
dear.
Thing,
that's all you need to say. Yes,
dear. The COVID thing messes me up. Now, I was already doing the show when I met Anthony. So, how long have we been doing the show? When was our first show, Scott?
Well, we've done 418 shows.
Right, but we did three a week. Now we're doing one a week.
Up until we hit about 300. So that's 3 years. So yeah, this is 4.5 going on 5 years.
Yeah. So
math problem.
Like 5 years ago, I met Anthony in Las Vegas, and Anthony is an awesome dude. Really smart guy. But I like hanging around with smart people because it challenges me. I enjoy being around people who are smarter than me. One of the things we talk about in the beginning is the pictures behind us. So Scott, we'll start with you, and then we'll talk about Anthony's door.
Well, you remember on last week's show, I was at a train depot in Barrington, and I showed you that cool outdoor planter. Well, this is across the street in Barrington because I thought that building looked kind of cool. I believe it's called Marietti's or Martini's or something like that. I can't remember.
It's Marietti's because the top window on the left, I lived there for a summer.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
How is this possible?
That's awesome.
I had Italian food every day. It was tremendous. Which city is that in?
Barrington.
Oh, yes, it was in Barrington.
That's awesome. There's a small world for you.
It's a small world after all.
Yeah.
I think that's my car out there, the white one, the sedan.
Yeah, you don't live there anymore.
Yep.
This is from 2 weeks ago.
That license, that's me. Damn.
Yeah.
That's where I left it.
Oh, wait a minute. You have the growing nose syndrome.
That's where he left it. That's where he left the car. But behind me, I have not been doing as many shows. I did do a few shows, but it's getting tougher for me to get out. One of the subjects we'll talk about later is just the ever growing. I want my life back, but when I am taking my life back,
that is a
metal cage on stage, and if you look closely, there's motorcycles inside that.
Yep,
that's crazy. I've seen that.
That is the show Extravaganza. That is at the Bally's Theater.
Mm-hmm.
That had Jubilee, which was one of the longest and the last running show that had Showgirls. The big flowers and all. Big flowers, big feather boas and the headdresses and all that stuff.
What a shame that Vegas is going away.
Yeah.
Now it's all McDonald's.
which is sad.
We have our first chat. Sick Bunny says, "Hello, Steven."
Oh, hey, Sick Bunny.
Hey, Sick Bunny.
So Sick Bunny is Alex.
Okay.
He said, in case you can't remember who I am.
Alex,
Sick
that's
Bunny.
Good. That's a nice name.
Isn't that a good handle to have? I mean,
Sick Bunny.
It's Bunny with an I, but I mean, it's not like Sick Bunny like 5634 or whatever. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I've had it for a while. I've had that for a while.
Yeah, you got to get that early so you don't have to be real Sick Bunny.
Yeah, real Sick Bunny.
Dude, I still have my Hotmail account.
I still have my AOL account.
I have an MSN account.
And Yahoo.
I'm still on Netscape.
Yeah, that's right. No, Anthony does have his AOL account. Which is crazy.
Yes. I said, why not keep it?
You got mail.
You know, the great thing about the AOL account, they don't tell you if you don't log in every 3 months, they delete your account, all the emails.
Right.
Yes. Same thing with Yahoo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Yahoo, you got to log in or they'll do the same. They'll cancel your account.
It's all digital. Well, they could store everything.
Well, so they can, but they can't because data has become so unwielding. Just the fact to hold it there. And then when you log in for them to try and find it is not as graceful and as easy as everyone would think.
And then of course you have people doing 4,000 TikTok videos.
Oh, that's true. You know, somebody last week, it was a woman, she's suing TikTok or something. She worked there. She was a moderator and she said she was watching like 12,000 videos in a week or something.
Yep.
But she had to pick out, this is offensive, this is, violent or whatever. And she said it messed with their head.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So,
people do not realize how bad stuff can be.
Right. Yeah, that's bad.
I mean,
like
we're a positive show for a reason.
Right.
Like but we're going to change that today.
Uh-oh.
When you become president and they take you into that room, you shake the hands with the aliens, El Chupacabras in their Bigfoot. That's what it was like for. It was shocking.
Yeah, I believe that. They gave her the book and she couldn't deal with it. And then behind Anthony has his door.
Well, and this is actually a green screen because my place isn't as nice as this, but people like to see you really dress it up. And actually, you can kind of see the fabric moving when I touch it. It is 3-dimensional. I can kind of open this door a little bit. And it's one of those like 3D wallpapers. So I can actually control the colors of the lights with the keyboard. I can go green. I can go red. But that's basically what's going on.
So let's take a look at this. Scott does an outside picture. I do a picture of a theater. And Anthony makes it look like he's actually in a room somewhere.
Somehow,
some way. That's crazy.
I was going to do one of me in the shower.
So I would like you to change the.
As a matter of fact, I have a Polaroid of that.
Oh, do you? Excellent. I've been looking for that. It got misplaced. So I had some guy send me this email saying, "Hey, I have this picture of you naked in the shower. I want $10,000 for it." I says, "You can give me $10,000 for it. I don't mind."
Yeah.
Bring it on. So if you could change the color, I'd like you to change the color of the door to the new color for 2022. Did you guys hear about the new color for 2022?
No.
Yeah, Pantone invents a new color. Now
let me ask you, because like there's fashion and trends and stuff. Is this a fashion trend where it's like a racial thing this year and it's like this is the color we're going with, this is the popular one? You want like a peanut butter? Is that
I don't know butter. Because isn't every color now invented? Because all you got to do is just sit there because it goes 0 to 256, right? So you just go 000 is a color, then 001, then 002, then 0, and then you go 1 1 2 and 1. So isn't this color like already invented?
Yes, it has to be. There's actually computer generated things, programs and things, and you pick the color and it's a dot on the screen that you can just drag around. It's a big circle. It has the whole spectrum. Everything's in there.
Right. So they call it Very Perry. It's purple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool looking.
Now, I will say, I thought of a way that a new color actually could be invented. Like humans can only see so many colors. We can't
Right.
see infrared. So, I mean, hypothetically, if we evolved in a certain way, we might start seeing a new color.
So we would see it and we'd have to name it because that's what we do.
Right.
So maybe this is a color. This is a previously unnamed numeric value.
Yes, it's probably like about 3621.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's 17-3938. In case
Oh,
you're,
man.
for those of you out here are
Wow.
looking, you can type that into your Pantone color palette and you can see what Very Perry looks like. Now I could bring it up on the screen, but here's the unique thing: working in photography, this color will look different on everybody else's screen
Correct.
unless your screen is calibrated.
That's a shame because I'm looking it up on my phone.
And
Because I'm
mine
on the
is different.
laptop. If
So
I
I'm
try
gonna-
to,
I'll share it here really quick.
okay.
And
No,
we'll
I
do-
blocked you from sharing this time.
No, you didn't.
Oh, damn. I let you in.
No, you didn't. So that's Very Perry. That's the color of the year for 2022. It's
All
a
right.
cool looking color.
So it's going to have hair and bubbles in it. Awesome.
Well,
Listen,
No, that's
everybody saw Suicide Squad. Half the women now are trying to be individuals, all dressing like Harley Quinn. Half of all of the women in America, half of their hair is that color and has been for a year and a half.
right. So how are you an individual if you're copying everybody? That's what I want to know.
Oh, okay. I see this on my phone. It doesn't look as blue. It looks more of a purple. I don't know.
Yeah.
If
I said
anybody.
it's purple.
No,
Yeah,
it's just all glow.
Yeah, it's all just glow. But I put it up on the screen so the viewers at home could see it. And if you look at your screen, you could have caught the screen grab while I had it.
Right. I mean,
But-
it's a nice color. It's like
It is
a
a nice
purple.
color. But it's
I mean,
purple. I like
Purple is the color of royalty. That's
I
why
like
I wear
purple.
purple underwear.
Oh, okay. All right, now let me ask you: are those Minnesota Vikings underwear?
No,
Oh, okay.
Green Bay.
You're in Chicago, right?
no.
No, he's in
Wi-
Wisconsin. He's over the
Wisconsin.
border.
Oh, you're that Lambeau Field. Yes.
Right.
You know, the funny thing is, my favorite football player of all time is Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is awesome. Brett
Yeah,
Favre
no.
is awesome.
He was tremendous, even with the Vikings when he was 56 out there with the crutches and everything. He was tremendous.
Yep. The crutches helped him. He could use like the stiff arm people,
Yeah,
Right.
push him out of the way.
he did
And the funny
old,
part is-
old school style like Macho Man Randy Savage in the 70s.
Yeah. Scott knows nothing about sports.
Oh,
It's not correct.
You know what a stiff arm is?
Of course I do.
This
that's
is
not
not the
what you
sex
think.
part of the show I was talking about. We were going to talk about.
Yeah, that's a stiff leg, by the way.
I'm looking at this guy, Scott. I'm like, he's in Wisconsin. You got a look about you. You look like you have the cheese head. You go down there. You have the jersey on.
I've only been to 2 games.
Wow.
Yeah, but how many games have you been to the parking lot of Brewers Field?
Quite a few, except
Yeah.
for the last couple of years. Just to
thanks
give
for
you an
coming.
idea, Anthony, I used to play, and as a result, I have a lot of trouble watching a game.
Oh, got you. Because you see people doing a lot of nonsense, not paying
Yes.
attention to technical stuff. And now it's all about scoring. And the defense is gone.
Very
Well,
annoying.
the defense is gone since you can't hit the quarterback. I don't know
Right.
how many times I see the quarterback can do the pump fake now, because if you hit him, if he let that ball go, that's a penalty.
And as a
So-
matter of fact, that new Madden 2022 that came out has that rule there. People hate the game.
Yes.
Oh,
Nobody
I-
wants to play it anymore.
See, I
But-
didn't know about that.
They did the same thing.
Maybe that's
to-
why he passed away.
You know, like, I mean, they did this because the ratings for TV are better when the offense is scoring versus the defense. So this is
Oh.
why they changed it. And it was the same thing in baseball. Years ago, there was a pitcher's mound that gave the pitcher like downward motion, and they changed it so the scoring would be higher, which is why these Hall of Fames are all nonsense.
Right. Well, and they also juice the ball. There is no
Right.
way you're going to
And
tell
the
me that when
players.
McGuire and Sosa were hitting all those
Sosa.
home runs, that they were just good that year or those
Well,
years.
Well, now wait a minute. McGuire admitted he went before Congress or whatever, and he said he had taken legal creatine from the supplement store. And I believe that's all he had.
Well, Jose Canseco, who lives here in Vegas,
Right.
he talks about it all the time. He goes, "Yeah, I did it." He goes, "But if that made you a better baseball player, then why isn't Mr. Olympia out there hitting home runs?"
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, you can hit the ball harder, but if you can't hit the ball, you can't hit the ball.
You still have to have talent.
But this
So-
is listen, this is why everybody's talking about should trans people play with this. I'm thinking about something else. What I'm thinking about is we need clean sports and then steroid sports for every sport. And they tell the fans and the players, and you tune in, you know, it's roided up tennis and everybody knows.
I'm good with that. That'll be the ones I'm watching.
Truth in advertising, damn it.
It's just like WWE. You know what?
Don't diss that. That's real.
It is real. Those guys,
real.
Those guys are athletes. I am telling you, you can't appreciate it on TV.
Well, let me
gotta go live.
Let me tell you something. I wrestled in high school and I beat everyone. And the thing that I did that gave me the edge was I did pro wrestling cardio because I saw Ric Flair in the ring for an hour, but also I learned holds and counters from Dean Malenko and the guy that you had to watch. This guy was going to help you. Brett the Hitman Hart. Technical. That's all you needed. Yeah. That's like these football players.
These guys were good.
Right.
Those guys, like I said, and you got to see it live. On TV, you really can't appreciate it because you don't really see how high these guys are jumping and flying and flipping.
Also, I've been in those rings. The ring is very hard. The thing is like wooden planks. And then when you hit the cables, they're not ropes. They're elevator cables. They told me that they wrap in electrical tape. So they said, if you hit them the wrong way, you'll bruise your kidney. There's going to be blood in your urine tonight.
Oh yeah. You can hurt yourself in a big time. But, that's what I mean. Those guys are athletes. I mean, it's scripted. They know who's going to win.
Well, I wouldn't even say scripted. I'd say it's fixed. It's like boxing.
It's like our show.
They know the last 3 seconds of a boxing match. And
we've got an outline. I shared the show subject with Anthony. It's just bullet points.
Yeah.
So we know where we're going. We just don't know how we're going to get there. And we go off script like we are right now.
I still like Henry Winkler as a wrestler the best.
Henry. Oh, the Fonz.
Yes.
Oh.
He did a movie where he needed to make money, so he became a wrestler. And it was freaking awesome.
They did a bunch of those. Like, that's always a good script. They need money and you just throw them into something.
Yep.
That's like every Eddie Murphy movie.
Well, when is Nick Cage going to do a wrestling movie then? Because he needs money. Have you seen all the movies that he's doing?
I don't watch his stuff. I still haven't seen Ghost Rider, and I heard that was okay. That was 30 years ago.
The movie you're talking about, Scott, is called The One and Only.
Yes, I was just looking it up too because I remember it was so funny.
1987.
Yeah.
The Don't Know Show looks things up for you. So
Okay.
when you don't know, you know, but you don't know.
I should tell you guys too to get ready for this because Steven told me before we go on, we're probably going to talk about movies. I watched the Soylent Green trailer. I watched my favorite scene from Boogie Nights when they're in the backyard in the pool. I went and watched that scene with Joe Pesci from Goodfellas when he's like, "You think I'm funny?
Hey, my clown, I amuse you."
Oh my God.
Those are great.
That's 4 great minutes. And no matter how many times you've seen it, Pesci gets you because you're sitting there like, even at home, like.
I looked up a few big words. I just want to survive this quinquennium. Wait. Alex said something. So you're saying WWE is theater with a lot of improv? Oh, I'm not saying that. Everybody says that.
I would say, like, I was in a boxing gym and there was wrestling and boxing and MMA. I would say that's all combat sports.
It is. Have you been, Alex? Not you, Anthony, but Alex, who's chatting with us on Twitch. Have you been to a WWE or a wrestling card? There's a few here in Vegas, and the one they're not as good because they went and they totally missed this far away, but the guy still went on the ground. And I was like, oh, come on, guys.
Well, I mean, it happens.
But the other matches were good.
Because you know what I think happens? I think it's like basketball. Sometimes there's air balls. You can't expect these guys to be perfect.
Oh no, you can't. You can't. But the ones here in Vegas are actually really good.
It doesn't surprise me because between amateur wrestling and professional wrestling, there's going to be people that want to keep wrestling and they'll transition. So these guys are getting into pro wrestling. They're going to pick it up faster.
Why do you have a bug on your?
He was crawling on my monitor.
I thought that was mine. I thought that was on the green screen.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of funny.
It's a little grasshopper.
No, this is a stink bug.
Oh,
Smell
you
him.
can't.
Smell him.
Oh my god.
I'm putting
He has
him
a
over
bug
here
because
so
he's
you can-
outdoors. Oh, see, you shouldn't have put an outdoor picture out there. Good one, Alex. I like that. So Alex has not. I'm gonna have to take Alex. He just knows Stone Cold, The Rock, and John Cena. I'm gonna have to take him to one of these local
How
wrestling.
about you just take him over to your house and show him some Bret Hart and Dean Malenko matches
Yeah,
instead of.
I've got folding chairs.
I'll put him up on YouTube
Yeah.
and let him see
What?
those.
And also, that's how those folding chairs are harder than Chinese arithmetic.
Yeah, well, they're hitting him with. Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I've seen now there's like fines. If they hit somebody in the head, they get fined and suspended. And some of the guys are like, screw it. I'm going to hit him in the head anyway because of the concussion stuff.
Dean Malenko used to take a razor blade and he used to cut his forehead.
Well,
So that when they hit him, it would split open.
Well, I think they'd probably hit him first.
No. Well, he had scar tissue there, but that was his thing. I remember that being one of his things.
He wasn't, I don't remember him bleeding, but you know.
Was it Malenko? Who was it?
Flair.
Somebody did that.
It was probably Flair.
Well, Flair bled, but there was one guy who was bald.
Oh my God. I watched some stuff from Japan where they were in barbed wire.
Yeah.
And everybody was bleeding.
Yeah. That's a little, I'm a little crazy there.
Yeah.
It was like the Japanese version of MMA. Like you watch that as opposed to UFC and you're like, stop the fight, ref. It's done.
And they're like, no, nobody's dead yet.
Well, okay. So you know why that they can get away with that in Japan is because there is no, it's not personal injury. I can't think of it. Personal liability. There's no, you can't sue. There's no personal liability.
My God.
There's no inter-rec get a check attorneys. It's against the law in Japan to sue. If you fall and hurt yourself, that's your fault.
I'm surprised there's not more like risky businesses than skydiving and bungee jumping.
Well, there is. I mean,
you don't think there is?
You watch those shows. Yeah, you watch those shows there. They went to one place and they took the sidewalk out and they put a greased pole and mud pits on both sides of this very fancy restaurant and filmed people coming in tuxedos and beautiful evening gowns, slipping on the pole, crashing into the mud. And that's too bad.
That's reality television for you. That's tremendous.
But they couldn't sue because it was in Japan.
I hope nobody got hurt, but I'd watch a half hour of that once a week.
It's sadly funny.
Well, as long as no one gets hurt, it's funny. You ask them, are you okay? Once they say it's okay, they start laughing. It's hilarious.
Yeah. But not here in the United States.
Do you guys want to, I don't know if you want to go right into movies, but
not yet. I want to do my Quinquennium, and then I want to do OSHA. Then we'll do movies after the positive.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Quinquennium.
So Quinquennium. I just want to survive this Quinquennium. So I've actually known Anthony for a Quinquennium.
Okay,
that's 5 years. Right. Everybody
5?
knows decade.
I thought it would be
or
4.
a lustrum.
Huh?
No, it'd be what is 4? I forgot what 4 is, but Quinn is 5. But decade, everybody knows decade and century and all that stuff. So I figured it out. But Scott really wants to just go for 6 years.
It's an odd time frame to have. We don't.
6 years
we
is a
need
sexennial.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sexennial.
okay.
That's why he wants to do it because it's a sexennial.
Sex.
Is that not a group though? That's like the group that's going to show up after all the diseases are gone, the sexennials, and they're just going to say, "Listen, everything's gone. It's like 1960s again."
That's all we're doing. Well, I want my life back. I told Scott that I was going to write a song, but I don't know how to write songs. Scott wrote a parody.
She thinks my life's all sexy.
Yeah, she thinks my life's all sexy. When COVID first came out, he did a video and everything. It's hilarious. He's sitting there spraying the Lysol because in one of the things, I spray my Lysol when I spin in a circle. So he did that in the video and then nearly passed out because he sprayed the Lysol and it all like around him. He's like, so that was pretty funny.
You know what I found out this last summer? I
know what you did last summer.
No, I had this friend and they were cooking with alcohol and it needed a lot of alcohol and they put it in a pot. And apparently when you do that and it gets hot, you can get drunk from that.
Yeah. Well, it's evaporating.
I didn't.
It's in the air and you're breathing it in.
So yes, that's what I learned.
That's a lot of alcohol. That is a lot of alcohol.
And the other thing is, depending on how strong the alcohol is, you can start a fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's true.
You can do that also.
That's dangerous.
But that's another fallacy too. Everybody goes, oh, well, when you cook with alcohol, all the alcohol burns off and there's
Not
no
all of it.
alcohol left. That's
Yeah.
not true either.
I didn't think it was true because I'm like, that's smart alcohol. You touch a flame and none of the other liquid, just the alcohol in a second knows to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like COVID.
It looks
COVID.
good though.
Hey.
Maybe,
Don't have to wear your mask when you're sitting at the table eating because COVID knows you're sitting at the table. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
walking in a restaurant, going to the bathroom, but when you're sitting at the table, no, you can't catch it then.
well, I mean, that'll be good though. Like when smart COVID shows up and we can negotiate with it,
Yeah.
just say, listen, just go after these people. All right.
Yes. Exactly. Well, that's what they're trying to do with the vaccine.
Mhm.
But yet I know people who have the vaccine are catching Omicron.
Yeah.
So
Yep. You can still get it.
Yes. The only thing is they're showing that 99% of the time, if you have the vaccine and you get it,
you don't die.
You don't die. You almost never even get in the hospital.
Right.
I saw the
flu-like.
stats for it just the other day because I was intrigued. 96% of unvaccinated people that get it have it severely, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex says it's like the 5-second rule. If you drop it on the floor, which Mythbusters, I think, prove that wrong. As soon as there's contact, there's transfer. Period.
Yeah,
No matter what, it's 5 seconds. It's not like when it hits the ground, then the germs go, oh, I should grab onto it.
Right. Yeah. Everything's dirty. When I come home, I have I wash my hands and I have these like Lysol disinfectant wipes. I wipe down my phone the first thing because I've been touching it and touching handles, and now I'm going to put it to my face.
Yeah, the phone's the worst thing. But again, what one invention, Scott? Let's see if you even remember what one invention in mankind has done the most for increasing the lifespan of the human being.
Sponges.
No.
Oh, sorry. I was going somewhere else. Increased lifespan of the human being.
Yes, human beings live longer because of this one invention.
I have no idea.
I can take a guess.
Yes, Anthony.
Is it vaccines?
No.
No, that's how you would have done it in school.
Indoor plumbing.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes
Because
perfect
you
sense.
take all the wastes and get them away from everybody, and the wastes aren't flowing down the gutters.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is the number one contributor. No, Alex guessed penicillin. No, wasn't penicillin.
A good guess,
It's
though.
indoor. It's washing your hands,
Right.
washing the germs off, and getting your fecal matter contained in a way, not running down the gutters. You guys may or may not know this, but at Disney in the Wild West Frontierland, the center of the walkway is brown. And the reason the center of the walkway is brown is because in the Old West, that's where the sewage would run.
Correct.
Down the middle of the street.
Oh, my
Therefore,
I thought you were going to tell me like there was a problem with the plumbing there, and they just
No,
said,
they just left it. Yeah.
That's
It
why I
stayed
was
there and they
like-
left it.
"Oh, I was
Yeah.
because I went into Roger Rabbit's cartoon ride, and I know I stepped in something,
Yeah. Well,
and it wasn't
all
bunny
stepped-
poop."
we
Yeah.
all stepped in something there. Yeah. But no, yeah, that's the Don't Know show. Certain things we do now. But yeah, indoor plumbing, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, while we're talking about COVID, I went to CVS last weekend because I had a little cough, and I said I'm going to be around people the next day. I need to know today, or then I'm not going to expose it.
Right.
So I went to CVS. They were out of test at the pharmacy, but I went up to the front counter and I found a test. And I'm going to show you. This is the test.
Flowflex.
It's a very good test, and there's just so people aren't scared. You get instructions in here. You put a cotton swab in your nose, and then you put some solution with it, and you can't see it, but you get a red line next to the C
Yeah.
if you're clear, and then you go on with your day. This took 15 minutes for the results to come in.
Well, that's what OSHA wants us to do. So that's in the Supreme Court right now. So this is the political section.
By the way, this test cost me only $10.
that's pretty good.
You would buy a couple of these, have them on hand.
That's pretty good because OSHA wants you to test. If you're not vaccinated, it wants you to test every week. So that's an additional $520 that they want to put a burden on every person
Wow.
who is not vaccinated. And the big thing with the Supreme Court was, is it legal? And I listened to the arguments, which I probably should have done because it put me in a bad mood. Because whenever you listen to attorneys argue,
it's nonsense, because what they're really saying is, I want money. This is what I have to say to get money right now.
Yeah, well, and here's the worst part: the judges know that people are listening, so they don't want to say anything. So one of the judges, I forget which one it was, is like, "Now, I'm not saying this, so I want everybody to be clear. This is what I'm saying, but it's going to come out of news that I said this, but I didn't say this. Here's what I'm saying." And he went on for, like, this is not an exaggeration, 5 minutes before he actually said what he wanted to say, because he knew when he said it, everybody would take it the other way.
But you know what? At least he covered his ass.
But that's the problem. We're busy.
Oh no, we need to talk about that later. Yeah.
Instead of taking care of the problem. Yes, it's a serious problem, but to put that burden on them. And then the real question is, does OSHA have the right or the authority, thank you, to impose this on us? And my thing is, what they're imposing is not just at the workplace. It is something that they're imposing on us. Now, it's not a vaccine mandate. They're not telling you have to take the vaccine. That's what they're encouraging you to do.
Right.
And that's something that you will have 24/7 for the rest of your life. And how can that be part of their charter to have the authority to do that? And that's the question. So yes, it's a terrible thing, Your Honor. Yes, we shouldn't do that, but it's permanent. This is a permanent thing you're asking me to do.
Right.
And how can you have the authority to do that?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's uncharted territory. It's new ground. I guess the Supreme Court's going to have to set some precedents, so people know what to do moving forward. But it's a horrible position for them to be in, because they're going to get hated either way.
Exactly. And they're like, well, is the vaccine safe? Their answer is, well, it wouldn't be safe if the FDA didn't approve it. But don't all the side effects for everything now say, oh, you can have a bad liver, and you can have this, and you can have this, and death.
Yes. But I mean, also, I don't know if
people have died from the vaccine.
I don't know if you're plant-based right now, but with the vegan stuff, you look at the other stuff and the FDA has approved it, like oil and cheese that's thick. And that's not a good reason to. Well,
they get away with it because they say these side effects and death. And the vaccines have caused deaths.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, no. Yeah. They actually paused one of the vaccines in Europe because 8 people died, and they paused the Johnson & Johnson vaccine here in the United States because
of like
6 or 7 people died.
They said people had blood clots or something.
Yeah, blood clots, and it's female with a certain, but still they don't know everything because they've rushed through this. We don't have the data. And the other thing that everybody says is follow the science, but isn't science questioning everything?
That's what they're supposed to do. Science is supposed to give you the best answer, and then have people test that, and then you come up with something else
and continue to question it.
Right.
So yeah,
but I mean, it's like the creation of the world. The scientists know what happened, but if they figured out something else happened, they'd go with that. But this is,
Well, I think that it should be just everybody gets locked in their house, and you can't come out of your house. And I mean, let's face it, the United States is not above doing internment camps.
No, and
we did it for Pearl Harbor. We did it at Guantanamo Bay. So, the problem with that, though, is then you put everybody in the same place, and they don't want everybody close together. So you lock everybody in your house, and the only way you can leave your house is if you have a vaccine or you walk out with a positive certified test.
Yeah.
If you want to enforce it, that's what you do.
Look, and the other problem is they always do this in this country. They make the citizens think like, oh, I'm going to tax you for this, or you have to pay for this. We just came out of Afghanistan. We have extra money. They just added more money to the budget. We have enough money to have a single payer system and give people these tests for free, because if you're asking people to pay for these tests to go to work and the test is more expensive than they're going to make it work, it's nonsense.
It is nonsense. And the other thing that they need to do is they need to just print more money. I mean, they've got plenty.
that might cause some other issues. We already have the nonsense inflation.
Well, 6.8%. It just added 5 years to my retirement.
Oh, okay.
You know, those
Well,
little calculators you can do where you
Mhm.
put in how much money you're saving and then when you want to retire. Well, it just went up by 5 years. And I'm like, oh, I mean, it'll level off. And,
yeah,
but yeah, it's still, I'm like,
but I saw on our thing today, and of course I closed the format because I would do something as foolish as that. But we were talking about crypto, I think, at some point, and I think this is a good time because that's another thing people are investing in. I know little about it. I plan to invest in it, but I'm going to invest like if I'm going to a casino. If I'm okay with losing the money, then fine. But
well, right now is the time to do it because
Right.
crypto had a huge fall off. I mean,
Mhm.
huge, like Bitcoin. They have this thing called Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin is like the number one coin that everybody knows.
Mhm.
And because Bitcoin has taken such a hit, all the other coins have. And it used to be Bitcoin was like 80% dominant. 80% of all the Bitcoins out there, 80% of all the crypto out there was Bitcoin, and then all these other altcoins. That number is down to like 35. So it's
Wow.
much closer now. So buy some altcoins and stuff like that. I have it. Scott will tell you, I love it. I'm
Yeah.
putting more money away in it right now.
That's good. And you know what happened to Bitcoin was the dog came along and bit them. That
Yep.
Shiba Inu snuck up behind them. They thought it was a joke because the Dogecoin was a joke.
Yep.
And that dog, it hopped the fence and it bit him in the ass.
Well, the other thing that pissed me off, which Scott and I talked about, was when I did my taxes last year,
Mhm.
I said, I tinted on my taxes. And then all of a sudden I went, oh my God, I filed my taxes. I did not turn in my interest from my bank account.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I how could I have missed that?
And they're on to that. They're connected to that.
Well, guess what? I went to Chase Bank and Chase
38
Bank
cents.
said,
Yeah.
so Chase Bank says, we do not give you a tax form if you have not made more than $20
Wow.
in interest. So I looked and I have over $1,000 in my account and I make 1 penny a month.
Well, but that's retirement.
So if you put that money in crypto, and there's things called stable coin, we won't get into those, but
Mhm.
stable coins actually mirror the dollar. So you're not going to, it's not going to go up to like $100 or whatever. It's going to stay $1. They
Right.
actually mirror the dollar. So it swings between 99 cents and $1.01. So 5 years from now, even when all this other stuff crashed, it's still worth $1.
Okay.
But they're giving 12% interest on this. Now
That's
when
good.
I grew up, 12% interest is what everybody told me I want to get in because every 7 years your money doubles.
Well, yeah, and usually it's 10%.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, just do that alone if they're going to give you that kind of
Well,
percentage.
you know, the other guy that figured that formula out, Bernie Madoff. Like, listen,
Yeah.
I'll give you 35%. What do you want? 40%? Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me 80 million.
that's it. They're all some sort of scheme.
Right.
But
Yeah,
we
'cause
are
you know
at
they
the
never
top of
send
the
it-
hour already. So we
Oh,
are
yeah.
ready for our positivity messages.
Yep.
Anybody else want to say anything else about OSHA or COVID or anything?
I think with the OSHA stuff, I think it's a lose-lose situation. I got vaccinated. It would be nice if everyone else got vaccinated, but I mean, I'm not an authoritarian. I'm more of like somebody who kind of believes, like I also believe at the same time that these people in this country who are pro-vaccine and they're like, you can put that in your body, it's your right if you want to. And then they come out against like cannabis and the other recreational things. It doesn't make any sense.
Right,
And
they're hypocrites.
Right. It really doesn't make any sense. I see this and I'm like, okay, so you're just taking this position because you're a Republican or you're a Democrat and your hired actor, your team mascot has taken on that position for the banks.
Yeah, and that's the worst part is one of the things Scott and I talk about all the time is we'll never know what the truth is because everybody has subjugated this to be their thing. So these guys have it this way, these guys have it this way, the third person has it this way, a fourth person. There are so many different views on this that we'll never know the truth. And that's what's really, really sad.
I'm going with the theory that it was that lab in China. See, the reason that that's not the widespread thing they're telling you, if it is true, it might be complete nonsense, but these are the two powerhouses in the world, the United States and China. Would these countries be liable to pay out any type of money to the other countries? But I think they were working together in a lab. I don't believe that somebody ate a bat on the side of the
No.
freeway.
No, this is all manufactured.
And I think it came out. Maybe it was manufactured in the lab. It wasn't supposed to get out. It got out. Somebody didn't wipe their hands.
I think our last few diseases are lab accidents.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're testing things. I can't remember the exact term, but we've started doing it again, where we create these things to try to figure out how to cure them, and then it could get out.
Yeah, or they mutate because we're like, oh, look what that did. Oh, that's cool.
I remember back in 1997, there was this virus that came out of Great Britain, and I got it, and a lot of people got it. It was called Spice Girl fever, and it took us like 3 years to get a vaccine, and then we were done with it.
Yep. And then, then she marries Beckham and we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
How's that for a segue out, Scott?
It worked.
Did you like that?
Beckham's home. Beckham's got 10 kids with that woman. He's home like 3 hours a day, and he tells her, I'm going to soccer practice. He has not played soccer in 37 years. He's out there with every other woman in Los Angeles.
Yep.
That's what that little pill's for.
He does. I mean, that'd be crazy if that pro athlete at that age needed the pill already.
I don't think he needs the pill.
No, he might need a splint.
So let's move on to our genuine positivity message. It's a halfway through the show, and we like to break it up here and give everybody a genuine positivity message. Anthony, do you remember any of yours? Would you like to go last?
I could go, but mine's halfway a joke, and now that you said it's genuine, I'm like, okay, don't ruin.
Yeah, but it's positive.
Well, it is positive.
I don't care if it's a joke.
It's a good life lesson. I wrote it before we came on the air. I can't even remember it because I don't have it written in front of me. But you gotta be crazy. You gotta have a real need. You gotta something when you're on the street. You gotta be able to pick out the easy meat with your eyes closed.
Yeah, no, that's right. You need
to wrap that next
survive.
time.
What's yours, Scott?
Loving yourself is not just for the pandemic. You need to love yourself before you could understand how to love others.
Oh, and remember, according to New York, loving yourself is the best way to avoid COVID.
That is correct.
That is true.
They actually put that in writing. Did you see that, Anthony?
He certainly did.
The city of New York Health Department said masturbation is good to do during COVID.
Well, it's good for your prostate. I'm actually from New York.
I know. That's why.
From Brooklyn. Oh, okay.
That's why I figured you'd appreciate that. And my positive message for the triple threat this week, which we don't normally do 3, but we're going to do 3. It's not what you have. It's who you have to share it with. That's what matters. And I want my life back and I want my friends back. So please do whatever we got to do to make this COVID thing go away.
Now, let me ask you, though, because I'm hearing people, they want to go back to normal. Normal wasn't that great, but we'll put that aside. There are some people you don't want to see. There are some people that you're happy.
Very true.
But Anthony, a part of my life when you met me that was part of the things that I had done is I had cut out people that I didn't want to. I made that realization on my own that, oh God,
you don't need negativity.
I can't remember what that saying is, but there are people that won't miss you when you're gone. And those are the people you shouldn't be around now.
Right.
All right. Now I know why he's sick, Bunny.
Why is he sick, Bunny?
Oh, wow. Then I'm 100% protected from COVID because I do that every day.
Okay.
Attaboy.
Well, and it's good because if he's trying to lose weight, he does that 10 times a day. That's a couple of calories.
That's a couple.
It is.
I need to get back on that train. It is COVID weight though, because I'm not going out and doing anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to walk. I would just go out and walk.
You could walk. I mean, you can.
I've got to go somewhere to walk.
Oh, okay.
Just like getting on a treadmill and seeing the same thing over, or going around the block and seeing the same stuff over and over. It doesn't get this.
Yeah.
This 3 pounds here going.
Not only that, he keeps getting in trouble for looking in the window blinds that aren't all the way down.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
Yeah, I saw him out there the other day.
That would be me.
But no, let me ask you, though. There must be some people that when things open back up, you're going to get some calls and you're thinking in the back of your head, like, damn, now I got to hang out with this person again, see this. Really?
I'm not. I'm actually not. I want to get back to my friends that I support, that, and the former friends that I have. But I look at some of the people that I can't expose myself to some of these situations to where these people are just nuts and they're all packed in, and I'm like, I can't.
And besides, he doesn't have his trench coat anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
To expose myself, because
Yeah.
But no, but actually, no, Anthony, I've learned to say no. And and what the one saying is, right, you cannot fill somebody else's cup if your cup is empty.
Right.
I've learned to take care of myself, and I've not been taking care of myself to, where weight and paying attention. So I've got to get back on that so I can go back and start taking care of other people.
You know what I'm thinking for you? And I think you'd look good with a beard, like a white beard, and let it come in.
Yeah,
you try it.
I think I did that once. It didn't.
Yeah,
too much of a hassle.
It didn't look right on him.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I thought he'd look like Sean Connery.
That would be awesome. I'd love to look like Sean.
Yeah,
yeah. No shit.
And then he'd be home 3 hours a day.
Yep. Yep. Let me get my wife pregnant,
Yeah.
which will be interesting.
But yeah, maybe twins.
That would be great. Well, that we're supposed to have in a family, but we're past that stage in our lives where we can.
Yeah,
have
but
kids,
I mean, now, like, if you had kids now, you've got kids that are old enough to babysit.
Yeah, is it called babysitting when they're your own family though?
Well, yeah, if you got to pay them still.
It's your responsibility as an older sibling to take care of your younger kids.
Listen, you paid me for 3 hours. You're supposed to be home at 11. I left. I know he's 2, but I put him in front of the TV, some SpongeBob and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yep. If he walked out the back door, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you had said you'd done some research on movies and you looked at the Soylent Green trailer.
Yes.
That's a great movie. I think it's a great movie.
I've seen the movie before, but I was so young and it was so long ago, I can't remember. So I watched the trailer and I am like, oh, it's all about The Secret.
Yeah, The Secret. Spoiler alert, anybody who wants to watch Alex wants to call me Santa. I don't have enough up here to call me Santa.
Well, no, but he wears a hat. Santa's bald too.
I guess I could, yeah. But
he wears a wig like the late Liberace.
Well, it's making its ways around again. Ways. The hair thing. There's a new company. It's not Rogaine. There's a new company out
Keeps.
now that's
called
selling
Keeps.
Keeps, yeah.
Yeah.
So they got 3 different formulas. It's the same stuff, just repackaged.
Well, everybody should go with the strong formula if they need it. Why go with the weak one?
Right. Well, I'm like, because the side effects. Kidney damage, liver damage, and death. I don't need hair that bad.
No, you're already married.
I'll glue some on. I can get a toupee. I can look like Shatner.
Oh, yeah. Well, you should have said spoiler. There's some Star Trek people in here.
There he is. There's Scott.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So,
like Christmas came and I don't, I've had enough of them. It's like birthdays and things.
Well, you're talking too.
Yeah. So anyway, but I was thinking about all the little kids this year that still have Santa. And I was thinking we haven't ruined it. We've ruined everything, but they still have Santa and all the things. And you have the 2 good Christmases in your life.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, but I'm happy for them.
Well, Scott doesn't want to give coal anymore because coal wasn't a bad thing to give. It was you didn't get something you wanted. You got something you needed.
Correct.
Is Scott's theory behind it.
So that's why I got socks.
Yeah.
That's an underwear. Yep.
Yeah. So if you weren't really good, when you were really good, you got something you wanted. But if you were bad, you got something you needed. Socks, underwear, coal,
breath mints. Well,
that's why we do it over the air. So
yeah,
we can't do that. Although we didn't really talk about it, but I'm just going to jump to it. There is a lickable TV prototype out there.
Oh, excellent. I'll be right back.
Is that really something that you want to do for COVID?
You have to have your own. Don't invite people over to lick it.
Well, CES was just here in Vegas, pared down. But do you think they had one of those TVs on display?
Yeah, for everyone.
And lick on it?
But they'd mark it off. Like when someone licked it, they'd mark it off with a dry erase. Like, don't lick here.
Yeah, this is a spot.
You got a little square left. One guy's like, come on, I came all the way from Tokyo. He's like, you got a little square left. You can lick the little square.
Yeah.
And the guy got COVID because he went over the line.
Because he went over the line. That's it. Well, that's it. COVID knows.
But, my question is, though, and I try to tell people who don't cook this, you like lasagna and you like sushi. you can't put them together. If I'm licking a TV and they're jumping around from shot to shot, it's everything mixed up.
Well, yeah, and it's theoretically 9 aerosol cans or something like that has the flavors in it. I'm like,
no,
wait,
I don't want that. I want the real thing. I want the flavor coming out of the TV.
Well, it is coming out of the TV.
No, I mean from like,
but it's aerosol cans that extruded from the TV, and you gotta it like puts the oils or whatever on the TV. I don't know. I'm like, really? Is that what do we really need a lickable TV?
It's gonna be disgusting. And when you watch like NBA games and the guys are sweating,
yeah, we're licking that. No,
and you know the other thing is the dog's gonna be licking your screen all the time.
Right.
It's a new thing you're gonna have to tell Fido not to do.
And my dog goes out and eats poop, so
yeah,
that's not going to be a good thing. I don't understand people who let dogs. People do realize that dogs eat their barf and they eat their poop, and they're letting them lick their face.
That's right.
Well, I'm just laughing because if the dog's got the lickable TV and he's been out there eating shit, you're gonna be sitting there watching Matlock at 10 o'clock and be like, "What is that on the TV? Is that a moth?" You know?
That's a smell. But back to Soylent Green and eating people. They have in the movie these centers where you can go and euthanize yourself. As you get older, they make you very comfortable, and they do that. But in Switzerland, it is legal.
Yep.
To do assisted suicide, but you have to do it yourself. So dig this. Share screen time. This is what the pod looks like. I mean, it's an artist rendering, but
it's a gorgeous pod. If you're gonna go,
it's 3D printed. You print it. Is this commercial? I think this is a commercial. I got to get past the commercial here.
See, now while we're watching the commercial and they're not a sponsor, that's very environmental because after you commit suicide, they can melt that down and now your whole family can use it. And it's like a heirloom, and just keep remelting it. What color do you want? This guy wants green. The kid wants
blue.
Where's
the video? Well, they don't have it. Did I lose the video? Is that a different clip?
I just go to YouTube. They probably have it.
They have it.
That.
But it's a 3D print.
Jesus.
It's a 3D. He's going to put the plans out on the internet, and then you 3D print this thing and put it together, and you can do assisted suicide.
No, but I think the funny thing too is when you 3D print it, it's coming out beige. So you want to kill yourself, but you have to paint it first to get that nice.
Well, that's it, right? You got to customize it. He's got wood grain on the thing and everything.
Oh my God. Looks like an old
you're going to spend all of this time putting this thing together, knowing that that's your end.
But I think that might help because some people, it's going to take a couple of hours. You might think like, maybe I shouldn't do this. It's going to,
Well, there's a lot of that too. And there's a lot of fail safes. Al, my buddy Al is, there's a whole test you have to go.
Yeah.
The joke, explain the joke, Scott.
Al is AI, but in capital letters, it looks like Al.
Oh, okay.
So there's a questionnaire or Al talks to you and asks you all these questions to see whether you're mentally sound enough to even commit suicide.
Right.
So and there's an emergency button on the inside you can shut off. And
makes sense.
It's the thing is really, really well thought out, and it's by hypoxia. You suffocate, which is way faster apparently and less painful than the injections.
Listen, I don't want to suffocate. I'm going to tell you what I want. First of all, I want some psilocybin. I want to sit in there with the blindfold on and think that's the stuff in magic mushrooms. And then I'll be relaxed. I won't be afraid of death. And then I want something else. I don't want to sit in there and suffocate. That's,
Suffocating is not a good way to go.
No, they might as well put water in there and drown you.
Drowning. It only takes 30 seconds. Well, drowning is weird. That's very painful.
Do you think when they take all the air out of that, like you can take one last gasp and there's people in there like, I'm not going.
There's an emergency button you can hit and get out.
Yeah, but you need enough oxygen to be able to move your body.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I didn't read enough for the whole thing to work, but
I'll call tomorrow and see if I can
see if you can download the plans and start building it.
It looks comfortable though. It looks like one of those 70s chairs that was a hand. If you put some pillows in there, and also vampires can't get to you at night.
Well, it's super like in the movie Soylent Green. That was like the best part of the movie. Like everybody is poor and there's poverty and there's stuff like that. But then when you go to this place to euthanize yourself, they give you these beautiful clean robes and you take a shower and they clean you up and you go to this room.
It's like an IMAX room.
TVs all around so you can see, and they play, great music and stuff like that. So
that's called the Apple Store.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's what are going to be putting.
But yeah, so first of all, I'm all for it. I like the idea of death with dignity and the people not having to stay on Earth another 20 years drooling and with the little bag tied to them.
Yes.
And that's a good country. That's one of those countries it's a socialist country, but it's so good they won't tell you. So every time you're like, hey, name a socialist country, you say that, they're like, that's not a socialist country. But they have living wages, and
yep.
I think that's the way to go. Why would people suffer? People with cancer and people dying of AIDS and things. And it's assisted. So you have to think there's doctors and psychiatrists and forms to fill out. It's not just you going in the garage and sitting in the car.
Right. Which is pretty cool.
Which is also not a fun way.
No, there's not many fun ways. As a matter of fact, you have to go with some kind of chemical way. You have to pass out. Like shrooms, and 45 minutes later, give me, something that's going to knock me out. One of those things where people don't wake up for like 2 days. And
well, you just go to one of the 3-hour movies that are out right now that suck.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
There's a good waste of 3 hours.
Oh my God!
Like when you put a pet down, they call it putting him to sleep, because that's what they do. They're just literally knocking him out and then they don't wake up.
Well, that's what you do with lethal injection, the 3 injections.
Yeah.
I had a friend and she had a Weimaraner dog, Mary. You remember
Mary? Yeah.
She's moved, but her dog, it had tumors and it was getting weak, and we had to take it to the vet. It passed away, and I went with Mary, and they let me go in there. He's on a table. They let me go in. They said, you can have a couple of minutes. Just make sure he doesn't come off the table. They'd already given him like a sedative.
Okay.
And he's sitting there. I gave him a little kiss on the forehead, and I told him, like, don't worry, you'll be fine. Because I said this because that's what they say to humans.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, if I had some chocolate there, I would have slipped it to him.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I don't know any dogs that have died from eating chocolate.
Yeah.
So you hear that all the time, and I'm sure it's bad. It builds up in their fat and all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. But I know like friends like that dog ate 18 chocolate bars. We went into my kids' fundraiser. It cost me $2 a bar. I had to replace them all, but the damn dog's still alive.
No, and he's happy.
Yeah.
Of course, he shit all over the house because it gives diarrhea.
But the thing is, when that comes out, you can't be so sure that's not the chocolate. You can mold that back.
Right.
That's right.
It's got to be the smart pills.
Smart pills.
But there's a lot of movies out right now, and I don't know if there's any I really want to go to the theater to see.
There's one, I saw the trailer. I don't know what it's about. It's called Licorice Pizza, and I want to see that one. Was it good?
No, I didn't see the movie, but I saw the
And then the other thing, I was waiting for this to come out. The Eyes of Tammy Faye, about Tammy Faye Baker / Mesner. Right. It's on HBO now. It was in theaters. It's on HBO. They put all this makeup on the woman. They ruined the woman's face, literally, because she had all this heavy makeup on, and it aged her like 10 to 15 years. And she said, it's for my art.
That's great. Well, Licorice Pizza is the story of Alana Kane and Gary Valentine growing up, running around and falling in love in the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that's nice. San Fernando Valley, though. That sounds like Garden State.
So it's a love story.
Yeah, but it looks kind of like, I like the vibe and the clothes. And, now they've got people in these movies that aren't as attractive, which is good because now we get like great actresses like Elizabeth Moss. Yep. And I saw the girl in there. I'm like, yes, she looks like every girl I see in America. She should be in the movie.
Yeah, I do like that. Did you see West Side Story, the remake of West Side Story?
I heard it's great. I love the original. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, that's one I want to watch. The Kingsman, the original, the prequel, that was actually pretty good.
Okay. I want to see In the Heights, because when I was in...
You haven't seen In the Heights?
I started watching some of it and I said, this is so colorful and so nice. I've got to wait until I have some LSD and then watch it. And I haven't had any.
Well, Hamilton is actually the Broadway play. It's the stage. It's recorded. But In the Heights, they did it on a sound stage and redid it, and it's out there. It's kind of like West Side Story. So it's good.
I watched about 5 minutes of it just to get a feel. And then the best movie that I've seen all summer. It's not a new movie. I went to a cabin with my girlfriend. She's like, let's watch this. I actually took West Side Story. She didn't want to watch it. American Hustle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. That's a great movie.
I didn't expect it because everything she puts on is like nonsense from the late 1990s.
It's a really good story about a hustler, the guy who's hustling and gets his girlfriend. He falls in love with hustling. Who is actually, he's got a wife and a kid, but he won't leave the wife because he loves the kid. I mean, there's so many subplots that you've seen American Hustle, right, Scott?
Yes.
Feel free to jump in at any time here, Scott.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's been so long ago. It's
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
But Alex sent you another note.
And I do like, why can't I think of her name now? Not Jennifer, not the girl from the games.
Oh, yes, I like her too. She was in that
Amy
Fisher. Amy Fisher?
No,
that's somebody.
That doesn't sound right.
It's not Amy Winehouse.
That's the woman that shot Joey Buttafuoco's girlfriend. But I don't know, Scott. Have there been any movies you're excited to watch or anything you've seen?
Yeah,
there's a few that we want to see.
I used to go see movies every weekend.
The problem is, we literally, Sunday. We went on Sundays because my Saturdays are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Although I wasn't going to bring it up, but since we talked about Saturdays, I ended up not having a bus run on Saturday because on Friday we got a phone call late at night. They had to cancel their wedding reception.
Oh,
wow! That's
the groom half the bridal party positive.
See, that's crazy. Yeah, it's Amy Adams.
Oh, she's great. And
yeah,
gorgeous.
I think she's a great actress too.
And in that movie with the red hair.
Yep.
Oh my God. Was she the one in that movie with the guy that killed himself on heroin? He was like the best male actor. It was called Doubt, and he's like the Catholic priest. I think she was the mother in that, or someone who looks a lot like her.
Well, there is somebody who looks like her. I'm gonna take a look at her movieography here. I liked her in Disenchanted.
She's good in everything.
Or Enchanted, with both of those. I don't see Doubt.
Okay, so that must have been.
No, there it is. Yeah, Doubt, Sister James. There it is. That's 2008. Yep.
Yeah, she was tremendous. Seymour Hoffman or whatever his name was the priest.
Oh, yeah, Seymour Butts. Yeah.
No,
no, that's under the bleachers.
That guy did audition though, Mr. Butts they called him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He was like I said, I was watching the Boogie Nights scene. He's in that movie.
Yep.
And everybody, if you have not seen Boogie Nights, if you're a kid, don't watch it. If you're an adult, this is must watch. It does talk a lot about what people's attitudes were during that time. Just everything's right.
The real question is, when you say, are you an adult, is this physically or mentally?
I would just say physically, because that's the law. I mean, you could still be a little, but if you're 26, I mean, you see a boob, you're not going to go crazy. If you watch that and you're 12, that's all you're talking about at school the next day.
I still like that.
It's hard to tell now with kids.
Yeah.
They're growing up too fast. They're exposed to stuff too soon. How many times have I used the word exposed? You guys should all do exposed drinking game on this show.
Yeah. And the thing is, the stuff that they're seeing that they're not supposed to be seeing is so much better now than the stuff they're supposed to be seeing. Even they don't like their cartoons anymore.
No.
Oh, the cartoons have gotten pretty bad. Yeah.
I have a niece and she's 3 and her favorite show is Seinfeld.
Okay. You obviously found out that I'm Santa Claus, and I kid you not. Some of these kids, they come up and they're asking for gifts from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They love that stuff. Cool. It's like freaking me out.
Yeah, because the stuff now is just bright and made for, hey, that kid's going to be excited about that for a day. Your stuff was like a little bit more, the colors weren't as bright, but it was made for you to enjoy for years. You know, trains and things like that. A train
Planes,
set?
trains, and automobiles. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, it's just the way my brain works.
Planes, trains. Those aren't pillows.
No, they're not.
So,
And speaking of pillows,
it's 6:30 already. Can you believe that?
Of course.
We've killed an hour.
I have to tell you, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my favorite movie of all time. If anybody in the chat has not seen this, and I told you the other day, Steven, Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
As a matter of fact, I have to stand up, walk over there, and come back because that's insane. Jackie Brown.
yeah, I will concur. That was a fun movie.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Let's see. Bridget Fonda, Sammy
See if I
Jackson, De Niro, Keaton. Wow.
Oh, it's you have
Pam
it's
Grier,
everybody.
Robert Forrester. I forget the whole cast.
You listen, it's on HBO right now. This is mandatory viewing. This weekend, sit down with your wife or not if she doesn't like, violent movies. You have to watch it. I watch that movie every 3 months and I learn new things every time.
And these are people who were famous and great actors already. It's not like, when you go back and see an older movie and you go, wow, look at all these stars that were in this movie and how they became famous. These are all people who are famous and went back and did this movie.
Yes, but that was the thing. Quentin Tarantino's like, I'm going to bring these people out of obscurity. Pam Grier's only aged half a year since 1976. Yep. Michael Keaton was Mr. Mom and like the real Batman. I don't even like any of these other Batman.
I'm Batman. so something that I had forgotten about that Anthony told me about Tarantino. Tarantino is, I'm gonna let you say it, Anthony, is only going to do something. He's
only going to do one more movie and then he's retiring from directing movies. And he says he might do some like TV guest spots, but his whole thing, he was asked about this and he said, a lot of the great directors, they were great when they were young, but they kept going. It's like an athlete. You were great at 25, but at 45, it's time to pack it up. And he writes all the scripts for these things. I suspect that he's exhausted, but he feels that he's got 10 good movies in him and he's done 9 and he's got one more, which I hope is a Jackie Brown sequel. That's all I ask for, but it's not going to be.
Was there enough for a Jackie Brown sequel?
Well, it was based on a book called Rum Punch and it wraps itself up. So there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. As it says, make Rum Punch. So as I said, I remember the movie having an ending. So
the whole thing's great. Anybody in the chat, write that down because if you haven't seen that, shame on you.
Alex already said he's going to have to watch it. Yeah, you won't be disappointed in that.
No,
Alex.
and just sit down and don't even skip the title. Don't even skip like the credits. You sit there and it's just a great movie. And I don't know if you drink or if you medicate with cannabis or whatever, have some snacks and just enjoy the best movie Quentin Tarantino's ever made. People don't watch this because they watched Pulp Fiction and they're like, there's one good scene in that movie and I don't want to admit it. And they also think The Hateful Eight was boring and they don't want to admit this stuff. Kill Bill, Volume 1. When she gets to Volume 2 and she's slicing people up, that's tremendous. But that's Quentin Tarantino and people
I do think it's funny that was supposed to be one movie.
Yes.
Kill Bill was one movie, but he could not edit it down. He said, it's 2 movies. I can't edit it down.
Well, the studio wouldn't let him just air the whole thing like he wanted.
Yeah, that would have been the first 5-hour movie.
Which, I mean, we're going to get a superhero movie like that at some point.
Yeah. So,
I just hope that he puts me in his movie.
What's that?
I just hope he puts me in his movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're on the short list.
That would be awesome. Wait, I'm 6 foot tall.
That's not the short list he was talking about.
Well, I mean, but you're on the tall short list.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, you're still short. But one of the things people start talking about again, and I heard people mention, I haven't heard people mention this in a long time. Our word of the week this week is Assless Chaps.
From the movie Dodgeball.
Okay. But is that why is it playing again or something? I don't know why people were saying this.
It's just catching on?
But aren't all chaps assless?
Well, I have some assless chaps on now, and they're not assless, and I've just been calling them pants.
As I said, they're pants, right? If they're not assless, they're pants.
But I mean, this is like for rodeo people, you know?
Yeah,
like they
well,
wear the-
okay. Again, Las Vegas, the NFR comes here. You know, we are in the Wild West, and I know people who have chaps. I know people who wear chaps. And they're.
It's good.
I still have my chaps.
assless. They don't. I don't know what. Yeah, like, again, if you're wearing chaps with butts on them, they're not assless. Then they're pants.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some guys want to walk around and look like the Dallas Cowgirls.
They're really nice. They're really nice when you're riding a motorcycle. I'll tell you that's for sure. They keep your leg warm when it's cold.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't understand it. It's not a great look unless you're doing it for some functional reason.
Yeah.
I-
So
yeah.
Is it a real word? Is it in the dictionary?
I think it's 2 words. Right? That's 2 words, or at least a word.
Well,
he's
it's a
got his.
descriptor, right? It's an adjective.
He's got his.
So what is
that
the
looks-
point? No, so when you search it up,
chaps.
The neighbors heard that.
yeah, there you go. Scott has a pair.
This is when I was doing the gunfight shows.
Yeah, that sure, Scott. That's what that's from.
Dictionary.com. It's in the fashion dictionary.
Yeah, assless chaps.
It's actually, it's
I'm
actually in the
surprised-
dictionary.
I'm surprised you're hearing about this just now. Yeah, that's
Well, no, I've heard about it, but I just, again, from the Department of Redundancy Department,
Mhm.
chaps is
They're assless. They have to be.
by definition.
Yes, I
chaps
agree.
don't have a seat.
Yes. But the thing is, if it's in the dictionary, then it means it's okay to put on a job application.
There you go.
Because I've thought about that word and I said no, but now that it's in Webster's.
Sweet.
Oh, they've got a good picture of Prince in a pair of assless chaps if you want to search that up.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to tell you a story about Prince. I went to a party in Prince's apartment in Vegas. Well, I'll tell it next week. He wasn't alive. This was after. But the fact they don't tell you at the Rio that you go up to the top floor. If
Yeah.
you get out, they give you a special card. You walk around. There's another elevator. You stick that card in, you go up farther, and then somebody's got to come down and get you. And
Wow.
it's sweet and insane.
Well, that's cool.
And then the other hotel rooms, everything in them is from 1968. It
Wow.
looks horrible.
Whoa. Well, they're talking about closing the Rio, so they definitely are closing
Please.
the Mirage.
Please close the Rio. I
The-
stayed
the-
at the Rio.
The Mirage is closing.
That's sad.
Well, it's getting redone. Hard
Oh.
Rock bought it. That's public knowledge.
Okay.
So, but with that, Scott, I just want to say thank you for watching.
And if you feel our show is not a bad life decision,
Then please subscribe, watch our other shows and channels. Go down there to whathappened.world. We post that. Anthony, send Scott your links. What shows do you have? What channels do you have?
You could go to Vegan Metro. That's a place that I go to. I'm going to draw a heart here so people can see a nice, lovely heart on the way out. Check out Vegan Metro on YouTube and on Twitter, youtube.com/Vegan Metro. I have a Twitch channel. I've never streamed anything. Yes, so those are my plugs. Also, I'll be appearing this weekend at Chippendales.
God, those
Nice.
are plugs. It looks so natural.
Nice.
Oh.
I love that. Where will you be in the audience?
Oh, that's good. No, I'm the guy who's mopping up afterwards.
Whoa. Is that what you call it? Is that what you call it? Being in the audience and getting all the girls that didn't get the guys?
Yeah, well,
Mopping up afterwards.
that's a good place to pick up chicks. And
It's a great place to pick
you
up.
say
chicks.
you're going to go there and they're going to see great physiques and then they don't want you. No, they're going to see guys. Those guys are hooking up with women, but only like 3 a piece that night.
Right. There's more than that there.
There are 1,700,000 women in the audience.
I love that. So with that, I want to say thank you very much. I want you to live every day, and we'll see you on the next show.
Be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.
Be crazy, and what you still amaze me.